Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to Friday Night Flights, proudly brought to you by the great guys over at Blaze Pizza. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening, but I'll tell you what, folks, we've got a special guest in-house tonight. How about it, Greg McClendon? Have you got a copy?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's it going tonight, race fans and Scott?
Doing great. Hoping for some great three-wide action out here tonight. Tonight's race, as all Friday night series, are brought to you proudly by Blaze Pizza. So right off the bat, talk to us about Blaze Pizza.
Well, Blaze Pizza just happened to be the home of big friendly smiles, lively fun interactions. We always say yes. Zoom, go really fast, and exceed expectations. We are the pioneers of this particular brand of pizza, and I gotta let you guys know out there in YouTube land, there's a lot of imitators, but there's only one innovator, and that is Blaze Pizza. You go through the line with the order taker, and you proceed down the line through your sauces, meats, and cheeses, and we will fast fire your pizza in 180 seconds, and we will get you out the door. It's the best experience that you'll know, and you guys got to try it sometime. You will not be disappointed.
Sounds like good stuff. I've driven up 60 miles to Normal, Illinois to try my Blaze Pizza. Best 60 miles I ever drove. But I tell you what, tonight, talking about the miles, we're going to drive. We're out here at Phoenix right now. It's a 1 mile track. We have got some good temperatures out there looking tonight. But, it's been an up and down week. Here on Monday night, as the drivers do grid up, Monday night they served out 10 cautions. And on Tuesday night, they had 2. How do you think it's going to go out here tonight, Greg?
Well, these A cars are a little more difficult to handle than the Xfinity and the trucks, so throttle control is very key, and I think these guys running the A cars have a clear understanding of that, and I think they will show up and perform very well for us this evening.
Taking a look at our qualifying order out there on that first place position, we have Mitchell Reeves with a 25.275, Don Williams with a 25.372. Sitting in third position, Jack Watts with a 25.452. Lee Staples with a 25.486. And in fifth position, Edward Bray with a 25.635. Position 6 belonging to Bruce Cabral. Ronald Klein in seventh. Howard Bell with Dark Horse in position 8. Freeman Kelly sitting back there in ninth. And George Stratton sitting in 10th position. Back in 11th, we've got Rodney Harris. Travis Browder joining us tonight back there in 12th position. 13th position, you're up here in the booth with me, but good job there in that practice round getting 13th. Donald Stewart sitting back in 14th position. Sean W. Brown. William Van Diver, 15th and 16th. Paul Pelizier with Kicking Asphalt. Jason Russo representing KMA Racing, as well as out there with Paul and Kevin Scott Nelson on the chat. So big shout out there to Jason Russo. John Henderson back there in 20th position. 21st position, Lee Ryerson Jr., Joel Guy, Danny Rudy, and Chris Hogue bringing up the rear. So we're looking at 22 drivers out on that track. Now that's a pretty good sized field for this 1 mile track. Open sets tonight. The drivers were allowed to get out here, Greg, and mess around with their sets. How big of a difference do you think that's going to make?
Well, if you can tune the car the way you like it, I mean, that's pretty much what we're here about on Friday nights, provided that, people have time to put into it. But it really comes down to practice at the end of the day, Scott, and we're about to go green flag racing here.
We have already got bids out there on that KMA TV chat. Big shout out there to Becky Whitmer and Dubs Harder. Dubs rooting on Travis Browder. Edward Bray getting the vote for him. Becky Whitmer, and away we go. Mitchell Reeves out there on that front line, loud and proud, doing a great job. Side-by-side action there with Ronald Klein. Early on, Ronald Klein and Lee Staples. A little bit of contact. Caution. Early caution already, Greg.
Yeah, I just heard the announcement over the team radio chat there. He just got loose and pretty much, and that's one of the dangers of starting a race very early. There's going to be some early cautions, but the guys have one reset tonight, as per the requirements of our series. So these guys need to be cherishing this one reset because it's a long way to the end of the race.
There was contact between the number 88 and the number 21. It appears that 88 and the 21 made contact. 21 driving up a little bit. 21 being Freeman Kelly. But you're absolutely right. And again, a reminder to the fans out there, on Monday night, we served out 10 huge cautions, but on Tuesday night, we only had 2. But these are the big, bad Toyota Camrys or Ford Fusions. Talk to us about these big, bad boy toys.
Well, the power ratio is a lot more significant than the trucks and the Xfinity cars. Throttle control will be key to getting in and out of these corners properly, especially as the tires wear.
Going to grab one quick interview here in with Mitchell Reeves. How about it, Mitchell? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, Scott.
All right, underneath our first caution of the night, Monday we had 10, Tuesday we had 2. What are you thinking about tonight?
Well, I think it's just going to be all about, kind of keeping the track position. This is going to be a lot of braking if the long run gets going. I think a lot of people are going to kind of be in question. I didn't see a lot of long runs in practice, but I think we got a lot of speed in this car tonight. Phoenix has always been a track I've just never really liked, but I've seemed to somehow mess up a lot and end up in the top 5. But we finished second a lot here lately. I'd like to be back up there in first and get another win here at KMA.
All righty, copy that. Very quick cautions here. Going to get you back down there with your boys, but a big shout out there to Southeast.
Thank you, sir. Southeast out.
Southeast running with Jack Watts and Mitchell Reeves. Now, Mitchell Reeves bringing his real-life race experience down here to the track today. But I tell you what, I just don't know, Greg. I've been worked up about tonight's race all week long. We got Don Williams. I'm not very familiar with Don Williams, but you've got some guys out here from Dark Horse. Talk to us about Team Dark Horse.
Oh, my guys over at Dark Horse. I've been sim racing for a very long time, and I've been blessed to be affiliated with some of the guys and make some friendships over the years. And one of those gentlemen happened to be Mr. Howard Bell. And from that point on, when I eventually moved to iRacing, I was able to get myself reacquainted with him. And he helped me along my progression here in iRacing just as much as KMA. Great group of guys, and I'm proud to be having this team here representing Dark Horse Racing within KMA tonight.
Howard Bell currently 2 laps down, though. You've got William Van Diver, George Stratton, Don and Bruce Cabral out there. George Stratton sitting with a very solid 7th, and Bruce Cabral sitting back in 8th as we do get warmed up to go back to green flag racing. Only a couple laps in, 1 lap in. Early caution coming out. Mitchell Reeves out there on that front line, and pretty much at these mile tracks, Greg, you want to be up here in front. You want to get to the front. You want to stay in front. You do not want to be in the middle of the pack, that proverbial hornet's nest.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Scott. If these guys can keep defenders on there for a little while, we should be able to get some good racing in there for folks over at YouTube Land as we're going back to green.
All starts and race starts are done on leader's discretion. Leader being Mitchell Reeves. Drivers are off. Side-by-side action with Jack Watts and the number 2 of Don Williams. Number 2 of Don Williams in front of Jack Watts. But here comes the number 76 of Ronald Klein and Edward Bray, putting on a little bit of side-by-side action there. Lee Staples hanging tight in line. But I tell you what, Ronald Klein and Edward Bray. Ronald Klein underneath, Edward Bray up against the wall. Ronald Klein with a good pass there on the number 66, but here comes Lee Staples.
These guys are doing a great job right now, exercising some discipline there as We're looking at the number 2, battling Jack Watts for that position, number 2. If everybody kind of does their own thing here, the race will materialize into the long green flag runs that we hope for, and then we'll see who has the best stuff.
Now talk to us about a line. Is there any sort of a line out here at Phoenix? Because you know in Talladega, you want to stay down there on that yellow. There at Daytona, you want to stay about a foot up off that yellow. Charlotte, you're more in and out position, but this is a 1 miler, Greg. Talk us through the line as we go in-car camera with Ronald Klein.
Well, Ronald is basically just doing his thing right now. He's coming down and he's not going below the yellow line to upset the car. He's coming into turn 3. He's kind of off the gas and just kind of letting the car roll through the corner, and he's gradually applying gas coming off the corner and coming onto the front straightaway going into turn 1.
So there is no precise running of a qual line or anything here, and your tires are going to wear out, and you got to be dodging slower traffic. Jumping back to the number 7 of Jason Russo, all over the rear end of the LA Graphics of Lee Staples. Now we're in car camera with Jason, and it appears he is all over the rear end of the number 64 Chevy SS.
Well, it appears Jason's getting off the corners a little better. Lee drives down into the corners, car kind of drifts up a little bit, but Jason's getting back to the gas pretty quickly, and he's going to get a good run on Lee going into turn 3.
Now, in a 100-lap race, we're hearing a lot of acceleration, a lot of deceleration. Do you think that fuel strategy on this vicious 1-mile track is going to be an issue as much as tire wear?
If these guys are on their game tonight, fuel can become an issue late in the race. And right now, it looks like the race is kind of settling down a little bit. Jason gets a little loose coming off of going into turn 3, I should say. And Lee just kind of does his thing. Everyone's kind of diamonding the 3rd and 4th corner to try to get a good run off the corner to set up for a good entry into 1.
Now what I'm seeing is Jason Russo seems to get a run on the number 64. Right now he's within a car length, trying to go under. Lee's shutting that door up there. Jason has that open door on the inside, but then the gap lengthens out. So, you know, you got to get a good run. You got to stick to that run. But if you stick it too hard, you're going to burn up your tires. You're going to get loose. Right now, again, Jason's got that run on the inside. But as soon as he does get up there to the number 64, the 64 is already back down onto that yellow line, blocking the path.
Well, like I said, there's really no particular line that during a race that drivers will go. I mean, the car will tell them where they need to go, and Jason gets a great run off of 4 going into turn 1. He's able to get close to Lee, but here he comes with the little drive off, and that's pretty much what they're going to be looking for here, to drive off these corners late as the tires wear.
A lot of rubber already being laid down to this 1-mile track. Gonna jump back and take a look at, caution is out.
Yep.
Do believe that involved the number 23 of John Henderson. Now we're going to back that up just a little bit, and John Henderson getting it down onto that yellow line, and then the number 24 just really not being able to get off of him in time, and the number 24 of George Stratton looking like he was trying to avoid contact, but just nicked the number 23 there into the rear end.
You know, that's the one danger about Phoenix that most drivers are, if they ran these practice sessions today, they will be well aware of it. That lower line can be very, very slippery. If your setup is not ready to handle those kind of changes, is a very distinct possibility. As we saw with Mr. Henderson, he spun out as he reapplied the gas, and it's a very easy thing to do here. We're under our second caution, I believe, of the night.
Taking a look at the front end of the numbers 24. Damage does not look too terrible on the number 24. But, again, George just really did not have anywhere to go on there. Paul Pellizer, our current race leader, underneath our second caution of the night. Mitchell Reeves up there in second place. Actually, Mitchell leading him into pit row along with Don Williams, Jack Watts. Pretty sure that every driver just about opting to go in.
It's one of those things, Scott, that once something happens, the track has a tendency of kind of closing up very quickly, and it's up to the drivers to be able to make the necessary adjustments to possibly avoid accidents. But there are certain times where you have no control over that. It is what it is, unfortunately. These guys are exiting pit road right now, and they got 4 tires, and that's pretty much going to be the way to go here tonight. You definitely don't want to take a chance on not being equipped, so to speak. 4 tires is the way to go here, usually under caution, and the guys are lining back up off of pit road, and I think we have no, we don't have a new leader.
Mitchell Reeves out there on that front line. Going to talk to Travis Browder very briefly. How about it, T-Bo? Have you got a copy?
Hey, Scott, what's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there. What you up to?
All righty, I wanted Greg to ask you a few questions.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, buddy, how's it going tonight?
Doing pretty good. Looking to have some fun on Friday night.
Well, listen, right now you're kind of up there in the 5th position or 6th position here. How do you think this race is going to go here? A couple of early cautions here. We're on lap 18. What is your strategy for tonight?
Save tires, being patient, and stay out of trouble and survive for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You hit on all of it right there, brother. You got to be able to survive the early carnage that usually takes place, but eventually it's going to settle down into the green flag racing. And if it goes green for a while, what are you thinking, buddy?
Long runs and green flag pit stops. That's all I want to see tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, Travis Browder, good luck to you tonight. Tell us real quick about the Skittlemobile.
It's the Kyle Busch paint scheme. It's one of his paint schemes for Joe Gibbs Racing for the Cup Series.
All righty, only one thing wrong with it. It's a Toyota.
Yes, it is.
All right, good luck, Travis.
Thank you.
Now, Greg, that brings up a serious question, though. We got Toyotas out here. We got Chevys out here. We got a Ford, or I can barely say the F word. Is there any big difference in the models of the vehicles out here?
Well, iRacing has done a great job with giving a little bit of difference to all of these vehicles, and we're going back green. Mitchell Reeves takes off.
Don Williams dropping down behind Mitchell Reeves. Jack Watts sitting back in 3rd place. Now, one thing I'm noticing with Jack Watts, taking it really, really easy. If you're up here right now, Travis Browder, 4th place, being raced on hard by the number 76. But Travis Browder, you got to be in it for the long haul. And right now, a top 4 position on lap 21, you're in a good spot. You really are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see Mr. Travis Browder getting underneath the number 76 RTK Motorsports vehicle of Mr. Ronald Klein, and he goes into the corner, and he pretty much lets him have that spot. They're going to move on, and Travis moves up to P4.
Ronald Klein and Lee Staples and Edward Bray getting it on for 5th, 6th, and 7th position. Ronald Klein with RTK, Edward Bray and Lee Staples running with Black Talon, sub-teams of KMA Racing. Now, right now, I don't think Edward Bray is really going to put a challenge on his teammate Lee Staples, as Lee Staples come underneath door-to-door action with 76 holding that outside lane. Lee Staples in that inside lane. Ronald Klein is clear by a car length and a half. Ronald Klein making that outside lane stick.
The outside line, if you can get a good run off that, Scott, you can actually take advantage of cars that are going to be more or less nursing the bottom and get a good run and set yourself up for a couple of passes late in the run.
Patience is going to be the key out here at Phoenix, though.
Oh, absolutely, because there's so much trouble to get into out here. You can hit the wall and upset your car. The driver that's going to be, saving his equipment, saving his tires over the long haul is going to be the most successful driver here this evening.
Now, talk to us a little bit about jumping into the future, Greg. We run the same tracks out here on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We hit the Xfinity class there on Monday, and we hit the trucks on Tuesday and the Cup cars on Friday. But do you remember where we're going to on Monday?
Thanks, Con. I apologize. I do not know it.
It's okay, because I want to forget about it. It's the B word. It's the B track.
Oh, no. Bristol.
Bristol. And I am scared. And then after Bristol, we've got Martinsville coming up. And I tell you what, we're talking half a miler right there. So the boys tonight out here on the Smile track, this isn't Kansas anymore, Dorothy. I tell you what.
Oh, absolutely. Bristol come next week is going to be a true test of drivers' patience, as you're dealing with oh my goodness, yeah, it's the world fastest half mile. You can look it up. It's original, it's fast, and it can test the skills and patience of some of the most experienced drivers here within iRacing.
Mitchell Reeves out there on that front line doing a great job tonight, leading 28 laps on lap 28 of 100. Jack Watts 1.1 seconds back. Really no traffic around Jack Watts. Travis Browder 2.9, Ronald Klein 3.3, Lee Staples, Edward Bray tied onto the rear end of the number 76 of Ronald Klein. But Jason Russo, our Tuesday night sponsor, doing a great job at 4.9 back. Big shout out there to the Pro Automotive number 14. Now, Greg, you know a little bit about the painters. You've got a pretty slick looking Blaze Pizza. Talk to me a little bit about the paint jobs and what it takes to be a painter out here on this track.
Oh my goodness, Scott. iRacing provides us with some very easy tools to paint cars. We have a program called Trading Paint, so we can be able to see all these lovely cars out on the racetrack. But painting actually does take time. And to get the car the way that the driver wants, it does take time. And these guys are exceptionally skilled at being able to put together whatever vehicle they need to for their respective drivers and sponsors.
One of my favorite painters out there is John Hedrick with Over the Top Paints and Designs, and Ted Immenheiser with Gearhead Paint Shop, Gearhead Gaming. Joel Guy does a little bit of painting. RTK Motorsports, RK Paints and Designs. He's doing a little bit of painting out there. Speaking of Joel Guy back in 13th position in the number 91 Skull Bandit, doing a pretty good job. Paul Pellizier back there in 14th. Paul doing a little bit of painting himself. Paul Pellizier with Kickin' Asphalt in the number 31, followed by George Stratton in the number 24 on that lead lap. Good job there. And we're looking at the DHR logo on the rear end of the 24. Now, who does the painting for Dark Horse?
Oh my goodness, we have a lot of skilled people within Dark Horse. I don't know exactly who's doing all the painting for our group currently, but most of my drivers are pretty talented with the paint set, so they can pretty much paint whatever they want. It's one of those things, Scott, that you have to have some experience in doing to get the car the way you want it. But like I said, John Hendricks, he painted my car. We got GW Graphics over the top, the other painters, and there's some very, very skilled guys out there that put together these wonderful paint jobs for these drivers.
Really nice paint job back here on the number 125 of Lee Ryerson Jr. in the National Guard, showing his support for the National Guard in the
And we
Chevy
are under
SS.
caution.
Caution is out. Now, we were just talking about the number 91 as we pull up that instant replay, and I do believe the number 91 went for a little bit of self-spin right there.
It's, they're getting into, I would say, maybe about the middle of a green flag run, and if your setup is not up to par, it's very easy to overdrive the corners, and just what he did there, and basically just kind of, he was diving in the corner, but got really, really loose as we were going into turn 1 there.
Again, driver's opportunity to head down pit row underneath our third caution of the night on lap 36. Mitchell Reeves leading 36 laps tonight. So, Greg, let's talk to us about ass. That ass end of the number 91 just spinning out. What adjustments? Are you much of a mechanic? What adjustments do you think can be made?
Well, a lot of guys are fighting a loose condition, so basically, if they're thinking about trying to tighten up their vehicles, they probably want to start. And there's only so many adjustments you can make during the race, but you may want to tighten your vehicle up. You can do it a variety of ways. You can do it with air pressure. And once again, this is a simulation, so there's a myriad of ways that you can adjust on your setup to get it to react the way you want to. This track right now is pretty loose, so I'm thinking that a lot of guys are going to probably be trying to tighten their sets up a little bit.
Paul Pellizier right now making his way on into pit row along with the number 23. I'll put Mitchell back out there on that front line. Travis Browder, Jack Watts sitting in third position.
Second.
How about it, Jack Watts? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
All righty, just fine. How is Phoenix treating you, sir?
So far, so good. Top 3 all night, so hopefully it keeps that way.
All righty, we're up here talking about the paints. You're looking pretty good out there in the number 77 Southeast pad endorsed over-the-top paints and designs. Talk to me a little bit about the paint job.
It's just one that got created for me, and of course you got to support Pat. I mean, everybody's got it. That's a great thing to support, and Southeast is just my team.
All righty. More importantly, next week we're heading out to the B-Word track, Bristol. What are you thinking?
Bump and run, and hopefully a whole lot of roll bars to save your butt.
Bump and run and roll bars. Sounds like my kind of racing. All right.
Outstanding.
Good luck to you, Jack.
Thank you, sir.
Bump and
Classic.
run. That's funny stuff right there.
Classic.
All right, lap 38 of 100. Mitchell Reeves out there on the front running with Southeast. Travis Browder's worked his way up to second position. Jack Watts. We're going to take a quick look at our running order. Run through our running order for me. Got Mitchell out there on the front. Travis Browder. Lee Staples. What do you think about Lee Staples tonight?
Lee's going to be one of those guys. There's a few guys that are out here. They know what's going on, so they're going to preserve their equipment as long as they can, and hopefully get through the doldrums of these caution flags. And they're basically saving their equipment. They're going to be around here for the long haul. They're planning on being here for the long haul, and they're going to be around towards the end. So a lot of guys are kind of basing their strategy off of that at this point.
We're going to ride on the rear end of the number 24 of George Stratton on this restart. George Stratton on the inside, Bruce Cabral on the outside. Bruce down into that inside lane in front of the DHR number 24. And I'm telling you what, Greg, looking at it back here in 11th place from George Stratton, that's a whole lot of busy traffic up there.
Oh my goodness, and on these restarts, is going to be really critical, really key for these guys to be able to navigate through these corners without any incident, to try to string them out a little bit, to maybe encourage some green flag racing. But you got to get what you can get on these early laps, because your tires are going to eventually wear, and you'll probably end up losing more spots than you gain going into the run. So it's very critical that you can try to get what you can get while you got new tires.
William Van Diver, the number 45 tonight, in position 11, coming around George Stratton, trying to make a move. William Van Diver running for Dark Horse Racing in position 11. Bruce Cabral in position 10. Ronald Klein with RTK in position 9. What I'd like to see out here, Greg, I'd like to see these drivers really start to spread out a little bit. As it appears, almost nearing the halfway mark, they're beginning to do.
And that's basically, Scott, what this race needs. When everybody's on top of each other right now, there's a distinct possibility that some calamity will ensue. But if we can get these guys strung out, maybe for 10 to 12 laps, get everybody strung out, then we'll see the cream kind of rise to the top, so to speak. And then strategy and everything else will, come into play after that. But for right now, we just gotta kind of weather the storm, so to speak, with guys kind of dancing their way around the course.
All right, let's talk some of the numbers now. We are on the number 31 of Paul Pellizier. Now, he had a last lap of a 26.314 with a fast lap of 25.960, running at about 161, but then he's down to 128. Take us a lap around, calling out some of these speeds, because I tell you what, there's a big fluctuation. He's down to 120, he's back up to 170.
Well, the track itself, Scott, kind of lends to basically groove racing. Drivers know what they're looking for, and you got to get into a groove. You're not going to be on the gas the entire time. You're not going to be on the brake the entire time, but you actually got to drive your car through these corners, especially as the tires wear. That brings out the driving aspect of this simulation that we called iRacing. It's those guys that can actually finesse their way around this racetrack are going to be the most successful.
Right now, the most successful being Mitchell Reeves. He has got a .8 second lead off of Jack Watts. Travis Browder doing a great job tonight as well. Lee Staples still racing hard against Jason Russo. Jason Russo making a big run on the number 64. Now it appears that the number 64 is back. I tell you what, the number 14 and 64 doing a great job. A lot of fun watching these two drivers.
A lot of discipline being demonstrated there by these two drivers. There would be some less experienced drivers that would go in there and lean on that left rear and basically spin a driver out. But these guys are KMA veterans, and I have no doubt that they know exactly everybody's tendencies. And it makes for a glorious race when everybody understands everyone else's tendencies. That's the reason why we have practice sessions during our race there, just to make sure that everybody can get used to everyone else's tendencies, and that makes for a better race.
We are at the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, we have got sponsors to pay. We're going to play a couple of those great 4x4 commercials, but while we're under commercial, we're going to keep an eye on the number 78 and the number 2, and we'll be right back with you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, buddy, I'm going to take a run to the head. I'll be back in 2.
are back, ladies and gentlemen. Got those cameras on. The number 91 of Joel Guy. Going to take a quick look at our running order. Up there in front, we have got Mitchell Reeves, Jack Watts, Jason Russo, Travis Browder, and Lee Staples, 1 through 5. William Vandiver rounding out the top 10. Now, we haven't talked a lot about William Vandiver, but he is one of the guys from Dark Horse. Tell us a little bit about William.
Oh, William's a good old guy here. He's been racing for quite some time. He's a veteran. And the guys over at Dark Horse Racing is just a tight-knit group of guys that we've been racing together for a very long time. And there's a couple of guys that that we have go to lean on for being a leader and whatnot. William is just a good old guy. He's consistent. You never really hear from him, but if he qualifies well, look out. He's very dangerous, like all these guys over at Dark Horse Racing is, and basically all these other teams and stuff, which makes for great competition here within KMA Racing.
Travis Brock, caution is out. Looks like Jack Watts got a little bit into the wall. Actually, it was the number 23. The number 23 of John Henderson, as we're going to back that up. John Henderson overdriving that track right up into the wall, trying to get down there into pit row, back up, round and round and round the 23 goes. I bet that one hurt.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
All drivers coming down pit row right now.
I'm not really certain if Mr. Henderson has used his one backup vehicle as of yet, but if he hasn't, his race is going to pretty much be over.
Well, tell us a little bit about that backup vehicle.
Well, within this series on Friday nights, we allow, KMA TV and KMA Racing allows each driver to have one backup vehicle to take care of, basically in the nurse during the course of a race. You can use it early, you can use it late. You need to cherish that reset, because if you're around at the end, and if you can basically repair all your damage and get back out there, there's a distinct possibility that you'll be able to take advantage of some of the slower drivers who have damage to their vehicles, who didn't take care of their one precious reset, and you can easily overcome those guys as the race winds down.
Looking at the rear end of the number 14 of Jason Russo. Big shout out there too, Over the Top Paints and Designs. How about it, Jason Russo? Have you got a copy, sir?
I gotcha.
Alrighty, very quickly, as we know these cautions are short. Talk to us a little bit about tonight. 4 cautions, past the halfway point. Good night, bad night?
It's been a great night, I think. A couple cautions, but pretty much single car stuff, nothing major. Everyone seems to have a pretty good set and got their cars handling well tonight.
All right, well, we're talking about the ass end, and the ass end seems a little bit fat. What can we do as a driver to keep that ass end on that track?
Well, if you can't change your setup, then you got to do a little throttle control. Just not so hard into it. Just pretend there's an egg under that pedal and be easy on it, especially coming out of 4. But I think we all got pretty good control.
And how are you looking forward to Bristol coming up?
Can't wait. I love that track.
All right, we'll see you at Bristol, brother.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, well, there's one driver very happy to be going to Bristol, but I tell you what, I don't know about Bristol. Bristol, Martinsville, I think we're going to have our hands full.
I think it's going to be a great time, to be honest with you. Jason kind of hit it on the head. That's one of his favorite tracks, and it can be a very, very fun and entertaining race to put on. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week.
Lee Ryerson in the rear of the field. Good to go in-car camera with Lee Ryerson on this restart. Lee Ryerson is 3 laps down. Lee Ryerson hanging way back off of that field. Now, that in itself, if you're at Talladega, that's a bad mistake because you're going to lose that draft. The draft's out the window here at Phoenix.
Oh, absolutely. This is only a mile here, so it's going to be a lot of throttle control and a lot of patience. I'm hoping to be exhibited by these gentlemen here. I don't blame Lee Ryerson for doing what he's doing right now because he's trying to protect his equipment. He's looking for a long green flag run, maybe making adjustments on this set right now to get it better for late in the run. This is a time the guys need to be really kind of trying to dial in their sets at this point.
Lee Ryerson showing a good amount of throttle control, but with 3 laps down, you really don't want to work your way up through that pack because that's going to lessen your chance of getting that lucky dog. Greg, tell us how that lucky dog position does work out, and if Lee should work his way up through that pack, or if he should just hang out and wait for 3 more cautions to get that wave by.
Well, for myself personally, if I was feeling, had any confidence with my set, I would probably go up there and try to make a few positions, but given that there's only a handful of cars on the lead lap, the smart play is to allow people to make mistakes, especially late in the run. Maybe overdrive their car into the corner and, get up and hit the wall. Anything can happen, and you need to be basically Johnny on the spot to take advantage of that.
Looking at the number 24 of George Stratton and the number 21 of Freeman Kelly, getting very busy as the 21 comes underneath the number 24 of George Stratton. But can he hold that inside lane? He's fighting it. He's got the number 88, Howard Bell, trying to push him around. Almost 3 wide action. Joel Guy watching all this develop in his front row mirror, front row window. But George Stratton, the number 24, holding off Freeman Kelly, trying to get caught up with Don Williams.
Yeah, these guys are racing pretty hard. Looks like Freeman got a little bit of maybe front end damage a little bit. Aero plays a good part here, even though you wouldn't think it does, but Aero does play a part here, and he's not able to pull within maybe a car length or 2 of George there.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we are heading out for that super speedway, 266 miles, 100 laps of Talladega in the trucks.
Freeman Kelly goes around. Looks like a self-spin on the 21 of Freeman Kelly.
And we've got it on our camera, and indeed, 21, he's down. Yep, he started spinning right before the number 88 tapped him. 88 did tap him, but Freeman was already in that self-spin, losing momentum. Nothing the 88 could do. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll bring out our 5th caution of the night.
Yeah,
Just nothing the 88 could have done.
No, I mean, the track closes up so quickly and things happen so quickly. The 88 just did not have a chance to adequately check up and to avoid that accident, and he just became a casualty of it.
But we were just talking about Lee Ryerson Jr. Now, it does appear that Lee Ryerson Jr. will not be going into pit row. I'm showing him as 3 laps down. So we're going to talk to Lee Ryerson Jr. And indeed, Lee Ryerson Jr. has that lucky dog position. Well, what a lucky dog indeed he is. How about it, Lee?
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
Doing good. I've got the wrong Lee. All right, I've got Lee Staples. How you doing, Lee?
I'm hanging in there, man. How about you?
I meant to pull up Lee Ryerson, but hey, I've got you in the booth. You're on pit row, so we'll let you get out of pit row. Got too many Lees in this race, I tell you what, Greg. All righty, Lee, you're a little bit more stable right now. Talk to us about your night.
Got a good car, Scott. Don't think I've got anything to challenge for the win, but I'm really enjoying the race tonight.
Well, you're looking very good out there, but you know what? If we're at Talladega, it ain't go time till about 10, 12 to go. You know, you're pulling down 28 seconds laps. It's 29 to go, so we're looking at about a 14-minute race here. When is go time for the number 64 of Lee Staples?
You know what, Scott? I think when they drop the green flag on this restart here, it is so hard to pass cars here that you got to try to do it while you've got good tires, and that's the only hope you've got to pass anybody, unless they make a mistake. And these guys aren't making any mistakes tonight. It's been a great race.
And how long are your tires holding out for you?
Well, I didn't go more than 20 or 25 laps on a set of tires, so we're going to find out, Scott. As they say, I'm going to go or blow this last restart here. So,
all righty, good luck to you, Lee Staples.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, well, we had meant to interview Lee Ryerson, but we ended up with Lee Staples, but that's okay. Becky Whitmer saying, need nicknames Lee 1 and Lee 2. Don Williams out there in front leading his first lap. Now, Don is another one of your boys over there at Dark Horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one of the rare opportunities that Mr. Williams has time available to run with us. He's a very experienced driver, and he's very good within Dark Horse, very good within iRacing, and hopefully he can keep track position and maybe make a late push in this run to possibly try to get to the W.
Mitchell Reeves leading out 78 laps tonight. Don Williams leading out at 2. So we've only had that one lead change out here tonight, and away goes Don and Mitchell side by side. But I'll tell you what, Travis Browder, he's a sleeper. Travis Browder. There he goes. There he goes.
Yep. Mr. Browder, he's always have been.
Oh, 14, Jason Russo.
Look out.
Yeah, I know. Look out right there. Jason Russo saying it's go time. 76.
How unfortunate.
That'll do it right there. We're not even going to flash that fancy logo right there. I want to know what happened. We're looking at contact with the number 76 and the 64. I'm going to back it up one more time while you get your angles straight. But we're looking at the 76 and the 64. Talk us through this, Greg.
Well, it looks like a situation where Lee goes into the corner and oh my, there was just a little bit of a bottleneck there between the 76 of Ronald Klein, the 64 of Lee Staples, and the number 14 of Jason Rousseau, who came underneath. And oh wow, there it is right there. 64 got into the 76, but the real estate was very tight at that point.
Not much he could have done right there at all.
Absolutely not.
And round, the 76 doing everything he can to hang on to it. But back end up into that wall, front end back up into that wall. I feel sorry for the 98, though. The number 98, innocent victim in that, Bruce Cabral, another one of the guys over there at Dark Horse Racing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he was caught up in it, and but that's a byproduct of basically the rating system and the safety system within iRacing. If this wasn't a hosted event, if you were racing a official race, incidents, as they call them within iRacing, would basically cost you safety rating. You want to be the safest driver out there. Actually, I want to give a special shout out to one of my drivers here in Indiana, Mr. Brad Ream. Mr. Clean, as we call him over here in KMA, it does your safety rating the best if you can stay out of trouble, be patient, and exhibit all the tools that you're going to need here at Phoenix tonight to actually improve your safety rating as well as your I rating.
All righty, we're going to get a chat in with the right Lee this time. How about Lee Ryerson? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing good, sir. Now, riddle me this, riddle me that. You're down to 1 lap down, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you were just 3 laps down, but these back-to-back cautions doing you a lot of good.
Yeah, they kind of are. You know, it's sad that we're getting that, but you know, stuff happens, and yeah, it is working to my advantage. So see what happens.
Well, how are you feeling about Phoenix tonight, though?
Pretty good. The car was running good. You know, I was staying in the back. I had some fresh tires, good enough fuel, but unfortunately got involved with something that wasn't my fault, and I had to do a tow, and you know, it cost me 3 laps. But hey, you gotta just take it patient and do what you gotta do, and just, you know, see where I finish.
All righty, very quickly, sir, one more question. Have you ever heard about a place called Blaze Pizza?
Yes, sir, and I have tried it out, and you can check it out on Facebook. And Blaze Pizza is, you know, it's a great pizza place. They have good personal pies, and you know, you get all the toppings that you want, and they don't charge you extra for it. So if you have one in your area, check it out. I definitely highly recommend it. It's great.
Good stuff there from Lee Ryerson. Good luck to you, Lee.
Thank you, sir. Let me get back in line here. I think I'm a little bit out of balance here.
I tell you what, Greg, that has got to make you feel really good. So a big shout out there to Blaze Pizza.
You know, it's really great, guys, and I'll talk about it after we get another commercial break, but it's the best thing that I've come across in my 32 years of doing this.
And we are back to Green Flag Racing, riding across the rear end of Lee Ryerson Jr. Again, go time, 22 laps to go. We're looking at 11 minutes of Green Flag Racing. Looking at a quick running order right here. We've got Mitchell Reeves, Travis Browder, Jason Russo, Lee Staples, and Edward Bray rounding out our top 5.
Oh, no.
Caution, caution! Now I'm seeing the number 66 in a little bit of trouble right there.
It's very rare that Mr. Eddie Bray gets into
Oh, he got busted.
and that's why.
That's the number 77 of Jack Watts. That's a 77. Ooh, my goodness. You know what? We're going to give my biggest fan a treat. Becky, do not close your eyes. We are going to go in car with Jack Watts, and we're going to see exactly what happened. Jack Watts coming on. Actually, I'm not in car with Jack, but there we go. Got to back it up a little bit more there for Becky. And, you know, almost a little bit of acceleration right there. Jack trying to make a move on 64, but as he did, sped up and completely took Edward Bray out.
Well, Eddie looks like he was making sure that he didn't wash up the racetrack on that particular corner. So he basically kind of checked himself up, and Mr. Watts could not check up quick enough for him.
Well, you're absolutely right there, Greg. You know, we did see Edward Bray, you know, put on a little break right there, but, you know, that brings up an interesting question. Now, let's talk real life here. In Illinois, it is he who does the rear ending that always will get a ticket in a traffic accident. So if this was my hometown, Illinois, Jack Watts would have got a ticket right there. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's the driver's responsibility to maintain control of your car at all times, and you know, racing incidences, they're going to occur. But ultimately, at the end of the day, is going to be the discipline of each driver to try to maybe circumvent as much damage as they can should they be involved in an accident.
All righty. Now, we haven't had a chance to talk to Howard Bell yet, have we, tonight?
Have not, sir.
All right, let's get a chat in. I'll let you do this one here. How about it, Howard?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Go ahead, Greg.
Howard, after an inauspicious start today, buddy, you're up to 5th place right now. Tell me about your night so far.
Well, I got 2 laps down there early, but I've been able to get them back thanks to cautions there, and doing pretty good right now.
I was just sitting back here telling the folks out here in YouTube land about Dark Horse Racing and all the members that are within that group. Great group of guys, and just very nice to see a nice recovery for you, given the early troubles that you had in the race.
Yeah. Thank you there. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Oh, actually, Howard, back to you, Scott.
All righty, Howard Bell, good luck to you. Tell us a little bit about the paint job, number 88. Looking sharp tonight.
Well, thank you there, Scott. Thank you, man.
All righty, good luck to you, Howard. Howard Bell with Dark Horse. Now, you've got a couple other guys out here. You got George Stratton. Now, George Stratton's still sitting in a very solid 10th place. William Van Diver sitting back there in 12th. Looking like he's got a little bit of damage, though. But I tell you what, the man of the hour right now is Mitchell Reeves, leading 81 laps. And Don Williams leading 2. But unfortunately, Don Williams out and down for the count. 7 laps down. So
Yes.
this is pretty much the Mitchell Reeves show tonight.
Well, it looks like over at Southeast Motorsports, they're cheering pretty loudly right now. Mitchell has pretty much showed his dominance here tonight. And unless somebody does something to flip the script, so to speak, we're going to probably be looking at the eventual race winner.
Big start out there by Mitchell Reeves. I think we had some difficulty out there on that start. Jason Russo with a big checkup. Travis Browder out onto it. We're riding on the rear end of the number 64 of Lee Staples. Straight line formation for the most part. Lap 84 of 16 to go. Only 2 lead changes out.
Pretty well now. Oh, he's going down on track. Oh, my goodness. Jack. Oh, wow. Jason Russo. Oh, my goodness. We're 3 wide coming off the corner. This is going to be ugly.
Oh, no. There was Travis. Jason Russo into the wall. Travis going for a spin. Jason Russo with a blown engine. We're still green.
Caution.
No, there it is. There it is.
Wow.
We got to back that up like on the blimp mode and stuff, because I tell you what. All right, we're up on blimp mode, and, well, I'm not even sure which car to focus on. We saw Jack Watts up there, Jason Russo, Travis. Okay, we're going to focus on, we're going to get on the 3 wide there with Travis Browder and the number 14 of Jason Russo. We're 3 wide with Jason Russo and the number 64 of Lee Staples and Travis Browder. And Travis comes up into the pathway of the number 14, taps the wall, jacks up Jason. Jason is smoking. Number 98's smoking. Well, honestly, Greg, I'm not sure exactly which threw the caution.
Well, as I'm looking at it, Scott, it appears that the number 14 of Jason Russo actually kind of initiated a contact with the 18 of Travis Browder in the Skittles Toyota Camry. But as they came together, that allowed the number 64 of Mr. Lee Staples to come back into play.
That's a big one.
Yeah, Jason goes into the corner and moves, basically uproots Travis, but Lee was right there, and Lee ran his line up into the 18, up into the 14. There's only room enough for 1 car there, and carnage happened, and carnage ensued after that.
But that'll put Donald Stewart. Now that's a newcomer up there to that field is Donald Stewart. Well, lordy. Well, how'd you get up here, DS?
Man, I'm telling you, Scott, my heart beating like a racehorse right now.
and how does a racehorse's heart beat?
Pretty fast, buddy. I just dodged those last 2 reps. Woo! Man, I don't have a reset left. Boy, unlucky.
All right, now I see you traded in the Boston Red Sox card. That's a good choice, thank you. But you've got this new fancy high-performance racing. Talk to me all about that.
Yeah, that's a new sub-team on the KMA that me and Sean Powell started up, and this is my debut of our A car. Thanks to John Hedrick at Over the Top Paint Designs for the paint that he gave us, and we got some team cars painted up so they all look the same.
Looking very sharp. Loving the light blue on that. High-performance racing. High hopes out here for you and Sean. Talk to me about the remaining 12 laps, 11 laps by the time we go green. You think you got this tonight?
I probably don't got nothing from Mitchell. I'm just going to try to come home clean. But to tell you the truth, I think it's going to be chaos.
Alrighty, it's heading that direction. All right, good luck to you there. Donald Stewart in high performance.
Highline. Highline Performance Racing.
All right, I'll get it right one day. Highline Performance Racing. Big shout out there too. Highline Performance Racing. Hey, it's my first night with this new team. I'll get used to them. Mitchell Reeves, Lee Staples, Donald Stewart with Highline Performance Racing. Edward Bray in 4th place. Now, Edward Bray got a 2nd place last night. He's hungry.
You know what? This restart is going to be very critical. If anybody's going to have anything from Mitchell, they need to do it right here, right now. We're less than 10 laps to go, and if they let him get away, it's going to be over with. Oh, too late.
But there goes Mitchell Reeves. Right now, Mitchell Reeves is going to be that proverbial rabbit in the box. Mitchell Reeves right now is that rabbit. He is running for his life. But Donald Stewart, Lee Staples, they are hungry and they're wanting dinner.
Yum yum for your tum tum.
Donald Stewart with a good run.
To get to this Mitchell Reeves, he's just been totally dominant. 78 is getting up there. It's going to be really, really close at the end if these guys keep their fingers on. But Mitchell Reeves is in checkout city mode here.
Jack Watts side by side with Ronald Klein. Jack Watts with a big run on that inside. You know, there's a whole lot of letting on and letting off out here at Phoenix. How important are we relying on those brakes tonight?
Oh my goodness, if you don't have brakes, good brakes here, you're not going to be very successful. Brakes are ultra critical here in a place like Phoenix. You want to make sure that you get into the corner and you want to let your car roll as much, but you got to get a you got to take the deceleration out of it to enable your setup to do what it needs to do to get your car to the corner.
So this is pretty good practice for Bristol.
So to speak, Bristol's going to be a lot quicker because it is a half mile at the end of the day.
Number 18, Travis Browder, sitting in 6th position, doing a great job. But Travis has got to get very, very busy very, very soon. Right now, Mitchell Reeves, Donald Stewart out there on that front line. Looking at the comparison, though, Donald Stewart right now just under a hair breadth under 1 second off of Mitchell Reeves. Lee Staples 1.1 back.
And Mitchell Reeves has been dialed in from the get tonight. He's led the most laps. I think he's going to go for the trifecta. He's going to lead the most laps, get the win. A tremendous performance by Mitchell Reeves in Southeast Motorsports tonight.
Mitchell Reeves, Donald Stewart, Lee Staples. But it's not over till the Fat Lady sings, and we've got Edward Bray, Lee Staples, So with 5 to go, do you think Lee Staples is really going to challenge his teammate Lee Staples?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a very good possibility that, you're racing for a win right now, and Jack Watts is about to try to get underneath number 66 of Eddie Bray, giving Lee Staples a little bit of more breathing room here as we wind down to 2 to go.
Travis Browder, Jason Russo in 6th and 7th. George Stratton in 8th. Ronald Klein in 9th. Joel Guy sitting back in 10th position. But I tell you what, the most exciting racing right now belonging to the battle between Edward Bray, Lee Staples, and Jack Watts. Now lap 97 of 103 to go. Jack Watts on the outside of Edward Bray, side by side. Jack Watts with a big run. Edward Bray, get that hammer down, and away goes Jack Watts, passing up Edward Bray, and now he has got Lee Staples in his sights with 2 to go.
And this just reaffirms what I know about Eddie Bray. Eddie is not gonna race you too terribly hard. He's a conservative driver. He wants to make sure that he's there at the end to make a difference, and he just demonstrated that just there. He let the number 77 go without interfering, and he's gonna let the 77 go attack the 64. And if they happen to make a mistake, he'll be Johnny on the spot to try to claim a spot.
Well, it's something else. Edward Bray knows he's in a good position in points. Edward, wow, what a move there by Jack Watts.
Wow, power move there late.
No doubt. Jack Watts with a big power late move. But we were, talking about points. Edward Bray's in a higher point system than Jack Watts. And Edward Bray's thinking, you know what, brother, it's not worth 1 point. So that'll wrap it up. I guess Mitchell Reeves out there in front. Donald Stewart, Lee Staples. Is that what you're showing for third?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to drag Lee down. I'm going to let you talk to him.
Well, actually, I think it's Jack Watts.
All right, so you're showing Jack Watts in third.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Jack Watts, have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
A little bit of confusion up here in the booth. Did you get third, sir?
I think so. I got around Lee right at the end, so I believe so.
All righty, so Jack Watts, talk to Greg.
What's up, Greg?
Hey, buddy. Hey, great run tonight, man. You did what you needed to do to get to the end of the race and get a great finish there. Tell me about your race tonight.
It was a lot of fun. The worst thing is, man, I want to beat Mitchell. I know it's my teammate, but I wanted to beat that guy. I overdrove it last week trying to catch him and beat him. That's why I wrecked out at the end. I was just driving it too hard. I really wanted to beat him, but he was faster tonight for sure.
Yeah, Mitchell was pretty much out there in another zone, but you did a tremendous job of navigating through traffic. We were watching you in the booth tonight, and you did a wonderful job of getting through traffic and putting yourself in a position to contend for the win.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I tried hard. There was one guy, which was Jason Russo, had a car to keep up with us at one point. I hate to see him crashed out, but he had a pretty fast ride tonight.
Oh yeah, Jason, we were watching him in the booth. He was doing the Jason Russo thing. You never hear from him until late in the race. If he qualifies up front, you guys got issues, but he was pretty much staying in the back, and he was making his traditional move, and he got caught up in a little incident there that kind of took him out. But great job by Southeast Motorsports tonight.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it, bud. Yeah, we're just trying to be here, represent, and do the best we can, and have fun with you guys.
Outstanding.
All righty, how about it there, Donald Stewart? You got a copy?
Yeah, sir, I have you, Scott.
Well, Donald Stewart, I got 3 words for you. How about that?
How about that there? My heart finally stopped beating so fast now. She slowed down.
All right, talk to me about those last couple laps when you saw, Jack Watts coming, Lee Staples was coming, and you're trying to get up there to Mitchell Reeves. Talk to us about what was on your mind with that Highline Performance Racing number 78 making its debut tonight.
Man, I tell you what, we did good tonight. You know, we tried to stay out of trouble and work our way up here all throughout the race. And man, I tell you what, that last green start there, I never looked in the mirror, to be honest with you. I didn't care who was behind me, as long as they were behind me.
Alrighty, now one more time. You said John Hedrick painted this nice looking car. Again, now that we're on a slower pace, because you done got second place, talk to us a little bit more in detail about Highline Performance Racing and the paint job by OTT.
Yeah, me and Sean Powell, we're starting up a new league under the, a new team under the KMA umbrella. And we're just starting up and we're working together. And John Hedrick painted our cars up. We got some team cars painted up for the A Series and the B Series. And so I'd like to thank him for that. You know, I love that carbon fiber he did on the car there. And I'd just like to say shout out to all the fans out there watching us tonight, and all of our sponsors, Jason Ruscio, Glenn McClendon, and GW Graphics.
Nice, good job. All right, great job, Donald, bringing home second tonight at Phoenix. Hard night. Looking forward to Bristol, are you?
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to that beating and banging.
Beating and banging at Bristol.
Yeah, and a good win there, Mitchell. He had a fast hot rod tonight. I don't think nobody could touch Mitchell tonight.
But you did a great job yourself, Mr. Stewart, and you should be proud with that P2.
Oh, I am. Me and Sean, you know, we work together on these setups, and they're paying off.
All righty, how about it, Mr. Reeves? You got a copy?
We got you.
All righty, Mr. Reeves. For whom the bell tolls. Talk to Greg. Tell Greg all about it.
Well, it was just almost a perfect race. You know, we've this whole open setup deal. You know, I truly just don't have time to put these setups together. And my teammate Jack Watts really came in very, very handy tonight. He gave me a setup when we came in here. He found it, and it just worked. You know, I told him numerous times through the race, this is the best setup I've ever had here. I've always struggled at the flat tracks. Phoenix is just a track I've always tend to overdrive, and you know, tonight it just went together. You know, we had some adversity with all the restarts. You know, you kept having to keep people guessing, and you know, we got some people on some of the restarts, but it was really just about after that first lap doing what you do and keeping it out front. And like I said, you know, this was a great showing for Southeast Motorsports. I think it was one of our better showings in a while. I really think Jack should have been second, but you know, Jack did a lot of passing tonight. He probably passed the most cars of everybody here. But you know, it was, you know, I didn't have much in this win. This was all in the setup. This was just somebody that needed to turn left, hit the brake right time, and do what they had to do for 100 times. And fortunately, we got lucky enough to get it done. So can't be happy enough, and glad to be back in victory lane at KMA.
Mitchell, outstanding job tonight. I was looking at the race, you know, from the booth, and I knew it was going to be a long night for these guys. After every restart, you pretty much put everybody at a disadvantage on the restart, and that pretty much kind of told a tale for your victory tonight. Tell me about, you know, you didn't have very much competition, but for the most part, from your rearview mirror, what did you see was going on tonight with some of our drivers?
Really, it was just about, you know, getting your spot on the restart. You know, me and Jack really worked well together. You know, we both communicated a lot about what we could do to make the car better in practice and bring it to the race. And, you know, going back to the restarts, you know, Travis Browder, you know, there was time he started on the outside of me. And, you know, I went into those last couple of restarts saying I cannot start in the same place every time, because if somebody catches me right, they're gonna have the outside and maybe have the run. And you know, I think we caught him guessing once, and it worked to our advantage there. But you know, there was a lot of fast guys tonight. You know, we had the clean air. I think that had a lot to do with it. But you know, there was a lot of quick guys. You know, Jack Watts, Travis Browder was up there, Jason Ruscio, Don Williams. He was really quick early, and you know, I think he got some damage earlier in the race, and it kind of put him at a disadvantage. But you know, it was all about capitalizing from their mistakes, and you know, we ended up in the right place at the right time. But like I said earlier, now this really wasn't as much as me being fast as it was the car. You know, all I had to do was sit in a computer chair, turn left for a couple hours, and get it done. And like I said, I can't thank Jack Watts enough for this setup. If it wasn't for him, there was no way I would have been even close to the top 3, let alone a win. So.
Well, you know, track position is absolutely key at a 1 mile track like Phoenix, and you were able to maintain that tonight without really much of a threat. Great job on the victory tonight, and great job for Southeast Motorsports, as well as your painter over the top painting. Great looking paint job.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'd like to give a couple shout outs before we let me go. First and foremost, you got to be Southeast Motorsports. I really have been kind of a ghost iRacing lately. Haven't had a lot of time with drag racing, but as the winter months come in, we definitely have every intention of running for another championship and getting another championship through the winter months as the drag racing season in real life kind of slows down. But also got to give a huge shout out to somebody I've really forgotten in the last couple of my interviews is Over the Top Paints and Design. John Hedrick has stayed behind me since day one racing this simulator. And I can't thank him enough for all the paint schemes he's made for me without any question. No question for all of it all. If you aren't running a John Hedrick paint scheme, you're doing something wrong. And also you got to thank Blaze Pizza. You guys have really stepped up and given away a lot of great merchandise to a lot of the fans and racers through the last couple of months, and that's been muchly appreciated by all of us. Gary Whitmer Graphics, KMA Racing. I mean, I don't know where to start with Scott. He is truly giving up all of his racing time to broadcast us on YouTube, and for all the fans that watch every weekend and support us, it's really cool to run in front of you guys, and hopefully we'll give you all a great show every weekend. And like I said, I just love racing here, and it's hard to find a good group of people like this most of the time, but I think we've got a good net set of people here now. So,
all righty, I have one request of you.
Yes, sir.
Get out there and show me some smoke.
I would love to if my motor wasn't blown up.
Oh, your motor's blown up.
Already blew up the motor.
All righty, copy that. All right, thank you for your time, Mitchell. Good job tonight winning at Phoenix.
Thank you, Southeast Health.
Great job, Mitch.
All right, Greg, talk to us about tonight's race. Give us a little bit of a summary.
Oh my goodness, the race had a suspicious start. We had a few more cautions that we like to run here, but at the end of the day, there was really no competition. This is one of the bigger waxings that we've experienced here at KMA. And it was pretty much due to how the cautions fell and Mitchell being out there, being able to set his own pace and pretty much prevailed to the win.
All righty. Hey, I appreciate you joining us up. Tell us one more all about Blaze Pizza.
Well, like I said, we are home of big friendly smiles, lively fun interactions. We always say yes. Zoom go really fast and exceed expectations. We have a tremendous group over at Blaze Pizza, led by, of course, our president and CEO, Mr. Rodney Walker. We have Ryan Fauble, Chuck Gonzalez, Sean Stevenson, all my employees. They all make this thing work. And let me tell you folks out there in YouTube land, if you haven't had a Blaze Pizza yet, go to blazepizza.com, put in your zip code, find the nearest Blaze near you, and I swear on a stack of Bibles, you will love this experience, and you will always come back. And this is very innovative, and I can promise you, your opinion will change how you have pizza, because that's what we set out to do.
All righty, and I'll verify that fact. All righty, Greg, I thank you for your time.
Scott, had a blast here tonight, buddy, and take care of yourself, and we'll catch you guys out in YouTube land. Thanks for tuning in, and Scott, thanks for having me in the booth.
Yes, sir. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, looking at our race results. Mitchell Reeves, Donald Stewart, Jack Watts, Lee Staples, Edward Bray pulling down a very solid top five. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow night here on KMA TV as we run 100 laps of Talladega in the trucks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Scott Kolovic. Joining me up in the booth tonight was my good friend with Blaze Pizza, Greg McClendon, for this very special Friday night event. I am Scott, he is Greg. This is KMA TV, and we are out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in.